Welcome everyone. Hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had some battery issues. But we're here today. We are here in Wageningen. Also welcome to the online audience. My name is Annelies Schenk and I have the honor to host this 11th edition of StartLife Demo Day. Luckily, I'm not doing that by myself. I'm here with my esteemed colleague Sam. Thank you for being on the stage with me. And together, Sam and I work with the entire ecosystem. We work with startups, we work with the corporates, and we work with the investors, as you can see. And we're very fortunate to have already over 30 corporates involved in our and investors involved in our programs. You saw it in the video already. I don't think we could exist as StartLife without those partners, because we need them for their belief and their impact. And I have also a strong belief that it's not only what you know, because we're here with very fortunate people, very bright-minded people, but it's a lot about who you know. And that's what we're trying to do here at StartLife in this community here in Wageningen. We try to connect everyone and help them to accelerate. The corporates and investors, what do we do for them except connecting them to the startups? And why are they here and partnering with us? I think it's also a lot about sharing knowledge, learning from each other, and maybe even collaborate with each other. And we try to facilitate that as well. And every time before the demo day is here this afternoon, in the morning we invite all of our corporate and investor partners for a meetup. And then we discuss certain topics, industry trends. And today we were fortunate to talk about two hot topics. It was water in agri-food and AI in agri-food. It was a very, very inspiring session. And I want to thank, I don't know if they're in the audience anymore, but I want to thank the two experts, Icos Capital and Pure Terra Ventures, for their contribution. And we're moving on to the next. Sam, what else did we do today?
Thanks, Annelies. I'm very excited to be hosting the event. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know, you know. I'm very excited to be hosting the event with you today. As you mentioned, we have several activities for our corporates, investors, startups, as well as the audience. I hope you had the chance to talk with the startups on the other side of the building. And if you did not have the chance to do it, after the event, we will have drinks, so you don't need to worry, and you can continue networking after. As Annelies mentioned as well, that we do this to strengthen our ecosystem by creating relevant networking opportunities so that we can accelerate innovation and create impact. We have corporate partners and investor partners, along with which we also have program partners who support our startups in our ecosystem. We are continuing to grow, and we're happy to welcome Planet Bio as our latest partner. Planet Bio is a scale-up ecosystem for industrial biotechnology. Of course, who we are right now wouldn't exist without the support of our founding. I have a problem with the slides, but I keep doing that. We wouldn't exist without the support of our founding partners, Wageningen University and Research, OostNL, and Food Valley NL. So a very big thank you to you, without you we wouldn't exist. And now I would like to invite one of the founding fathers of StartLife to the stage. Please welcome Jan Meling, Managing Director, StartLife.
Thank you. I wrote down some words during coffee. I chose my words carefully. And I wanted to start with sharing with you the 3 core values of StartLife. And many of you might already know them. And the first one is we do everything for impact, because we know we want to head towards a sustainable food system. The second core value is that we are very much founder-centric, because founders are truly our heroes and are leading the journey. The third one is that we are practicing what we preach. We also are ambitious and entrepreneurial, and we do this along the lines of integrity and passion. So these core values have always been with StartLife, and it has been a privilege. Working for StartLife for 10.5 years has been a great privilege, and making our hands dirty was a privilege. Making our hands dirty with the whole team was a big feast every time, like this week. And being part of the solution and not of the problem is exactly that specific privilege. To become part of the solution is also a choice. And I think this is exactly the common ground that we have here as a community. We all have made this choice that we want to be part of the solution and not of the problem. And this choice, for me, truly defines the StartLife community. And this choice also leads to meaningful business. And this is what we're, again, going to see this afternoon. Many companies who are really trying to accomplish meaningful business because they've made the same choice. And this choice is also what makes us so determined for what we do. So, leaving something that you deeply love is not easy. It has been a very difficult choice, but I'm also very much confident about it right now. And heck, it was a difficult one. But I'm certain that this fabulous team, together with this fabulous community, based on this common ground that we have, we made the same choice, is going to pull it off. And together with new leadership, a new dot on the horizon, we're going to make another big leap to another stage. And I'm going to welcome that, and I'm going to applaud that, and I'm going to be part of the audience. And it has been a privilege to have been part of the beginning. Thank you so much.
Oh, Jan. Come on. Don't leave us now already.
Okay.
Jan, thank you so much for your drive. For the last 10 years, you've built up StartLife. And look where it's now. It's the European Agri-Food Accelerator. And you've done it. You've put so much drive, enthusiasm in it.
We've done it, right?
We've done it, but you were here for 10 years. We want to thank you for that. We're going to miss you. So that cannot go without some flowers, Jan.
Thank you so much.
And a big hug. And we will keep you to that. You will stay in the audience.
I will.
Jan,
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
thank you so much. A big applause for Jan. I do want to mention the board is here as well, also especially to cheer for you. Laura will take over the task for the time being. There is a search for a new MD. So if there's questions about this during the drinks, the board is here, Laura is here. Please feel free to ask questions. That was just some information, but I think we need to move on. We need to move on to what we're here for.
Exactly.
For the pitch session. We have 13 incredible startups here today. Some were in the Accelerate program, actually most, and some were in the a la carte program of StartLife. And we're very curious to hear about their companies. I need to, next slide. We do have some rules. We have 4 minutes for each startup because we want to keep it equal. 2 minutes to pitch, 2 minutes for Q&A. We have here a timer. We can look at it as well. And as startups, you guys need to look at the time as well because we don't want to be a police agent. How it happens, we have here in front of us a mic, the famous mic. If you have a question from the audience, please raise your hand. And then if you're a good catcher, we will throw the mic to you. There can also be questions coming from the online audience. And we have our colleague here, Madelief, who will then answer, that would be good. We'll ask them, so live here in the studio. So please, online audience, also ask questions. I think that's about it. Let's get started. And I'm also happy to announce the first startup to you. The startup kicking off is from Finland, producing drinkable alcohol from air. A warm welcome for Simo, founder and CEO of Aircool.
The floor is yours.
Right.
Which one?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a startup tip. Don't start your company with letter A, because that means that you're first in all these shows. So anyway, hi everyone from my behalf. My name is Simo Hämäläinen, and I am the founder and CEO of Aircool. And we are saving the planet in a cheerful way by making alcohol from air. More precisely, we purify air by capturing CO2 from alcohol fermentation before it ever reaches the atmosphere. We feed that CO2 into patented Aircool technology at the distillery or brewery to produce biomass. Majority of that biomass then goes back to fermentation to produce new alcohol. And for that alcohol, we don't need any crop-based ingredients, and we cut the entire carbon footprint of the raw materials, which is significant. The biomass will also have some side streams, valuable side streams, proteins, lipids, antioxidants, vitamins, and so forth, that we will sell in big volume and competitive price. Aircool technology works, and it's already in use in Finland with our pilot customer. And next year, we are scaling up to industrial size and introducing first products to the market. The alcohol industry is huge. It actually emits almost twice as much as the entire airline industry, which means that the CO2 reduction potential of Aircool technology is measured in hundreds of megatons on an annual basis. At StartLife, we have validated the product market fit for Aircool by talking to over 20 different alcohol companies all around the world. And especially for distilleries, the CO2 from fermentation is a real problem. They can't use it, and it's difficult to sell. And they would much rather make drinks from it than anything else. So the problem is there, and we have the solution. So we're asking for investment or investors, and looking for investors for our upcoming round next year. Alcohol companies as partners and customers, and other companies to utilize our side streams. And these companies we invite to join our dream, which is that one day people around the world can do concrete and cheerful climate actions, raise their glasses of alcohol, and go, cheers planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Simo. Simo, I have the first question for you.
Is it a good one?
I think it's a good one, I believe. Who would be your ideal investor for the coming round?
Anyone who believes in our vision, has a lot of money, and is willing to invest at the moment. So if you are any of those people, come and talk to me at the cocktail.
I believe we have several ideal investors in the audience.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, companies who invest in food and beverage and climate and want to make the world more sustainable.
So do we have a question in the audience? Yes, we have a question back there.
Wow, cheerful presentation, thanks.
Thank you.
To what extent is your technology similar to that of solar foods?
The technology is different, the idea is very similar. So they actually take CO2 from air with direct air capture. We take, which is not the most efficient and cheapest way, we take it from the best source in the industry, which is the fermentation, which is 90% pure CO2. And we work there at the brewery and distillery, so we don't ship CO2 anywhere, as a lot of these companies do. And we produce an end product that the actual CO2 source company also uses. We have a plant-based technology. There's these microbes and hydrogen, and very different, actually.
Okay, and
but we know the company very well. They are our colleagues from Finland.
Does this also mean that your market access is far easier?
Yes. Next year, we'll have Aircool products on the market.
Good to know.
Thank you. I think the time is up.
So it seems.
We will move on to the next startup. Thank you, Simo.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
If you would like to connect with Simo or look at the deck of Aircool, you can scan the QR code on the slide or in the booklet, and there is a link for the online audience in the chat. Our next startup is from the United Kingdom. They're developing active materials to increase yields in greenhouses. Please welcome Niall Hoyan from CEO and founder of Lambda Agri. The floor is yours now.
I wanted to bring my little son onto to this one. He's a lot better looking than I am. So we're Lambda Energy. We're developing active coatings that go on greenhouses that actually captures the light to provide better light for plants and increase crop yield. And one thing I've learned from the StartLife program is how woefully thin the margins are for growers, and a lot of time they actually try to supplement their profits by using LED lights, and they have high capex but very high variable opex. And what we wanted to do is give them an opportunity to increase yield by maximizing what the sun gives. So we develop a paint with our active material in there, and that converts parts of the light spectrum, if you don't mind. And what we do is we coat it, and this is a UV torch, and what it does is it converts part of the light spectrum to actually the unutilized part, the UV, and provides more red light. This have been able to demonstrate a 9% increase in crop yield. That would equate in hectare terms of 50,000 extra euros per hectare. Super easy to apply. And what we've been able to do is demonstrate this on independent trials, but I like to look at the qualitative results, and we can see that these plants are so much happier, and we developed it so the coating that can be easily applied onto glass, and we can capture both new and retrofit markets. If you look at just the retrofit market in the Netherlands, it's a 600 million pound market. But we're not stopping there. And what we're aiming to do is raise 1.5 million to actually give us 30-month runway. And we've already got half of that committed. And the government is backing us in a big way, developing both for 3 projects, new, retrofit, and plastic greenhouses. And I welcome your questions.
Thank you, Simo. Thank you, Niall. Names. Is there a question in the audience? Can I see a hand? Well, if not, as you also are fundraising, I would like to see who would be your ideal investor. We have a different answer this time.
So right now the Cambridge has backing us with 500,000. We've got another 250,000 with the materials VC. What ideally we want to do is bring on an agri-based VC. Preferably from the Netherlands.
Thanks. We have a question here.
Hi. UV can also be useful for plants, like promotes coloration, kills powdery and mildew. What about that? When you exclude the entire UV spectrum, what happens to the plants?
Well, we demonstrated very significant improvements in crop yield in our trials. If you look at some plants, that may be true, but a lot of plants, if you actually it's actually detrimental, the UV part of the spectrum. So it really does depend on the plants and where you are in the world. Even just opening up the roof to actually let it in a bit of UV, that could be more than enough for some of the plants.
Thank you.
Any last questions?
Online. Is there an online question?
Yes.
There is an online question, Madeleine.
So they're wondering what's the cost of Lambda Agri products compared to possible competitor solutions?
So there's a couple of competitors out there. They've got Leaf and UB Grow, and they're looking at products that cost about 30 euros. And what we've developed is a solution that quite literally costs 6 euros and gives a payback of 2 years on a product that lasts 10. So we actually are, another thing that we got from StartLife is we figured out the pricing is very important. So they can we've made a business case that actually gives the grower 80% of the extra economic value. So our main focus is actually to give these folks no reason to say no.
Thank you, Niall.
Cool.
And, Thank you. Big round of applause for Niall. Thanks. If you would like to connect with Niall or look at the deck the same as before, you can scan the QR code. Our next startup is also from the UK. They're developing algorithms to support carbon and biodiversity measurement at scale, but more efficiently. Please welcome CEO and founder of Lanman, Hugh Sturrock. You have 2 minutes, Hugh.
Thank you.
I'm always confused where I should say.
I don't think I need to convince anyone here that we face a climate and biodiversity emergency. Farming has been part of the problem, but with changes to the way that we farm, farming can support uplift in biodiversity. Farming can improve the soil resilience and turn soil into a tool to remove carbon from the atmosphere. But we can't improve what we can't measure. And current tools to measure the impact of different agricultural practices rely heavily on site visits, ground surveys, soil sampling and lab testing, which is expensive, challenging to scale, and provides only a snapshot of information in time. Lanman algorithms combine on-the-ground data with satellite imagery, climate data, and topographic information to provide metrics and information on soil health, soil carbon, biodiversity at scale. What's more, where data does need to be collected on the ground, we have unique algorithms to optimize where to collect data, to reduce your costs. And we've shown that we can reduce the number of samples that you need by 90%. Our tools are being used by a range of customers across soil, biodiversity, deforestation, and our algorithms can be used directly through our platform or can be wired up and integrated into partner platforms and services. So whether you're interested in trying to understand Scope 3 emissions across your agricultural supply chain, or you're importing goods into the EU and need to adhere to the new EU deforestation regulation, or you're an investor who believes in the urgency and the scale of our mission and wants to contribute to our seed round that's open now, come and talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. Are there any questions in the audience? Online? Otherwise, I have a question. Who are your customers, Hugh?
So we typically target platforms, vertical platforms, who themselves work with farmers or the food and drink industries, but don't have the capabilities that we have. We provide our algorithms and services through an API so that they can integrate and turbocharge their own software. And that's our sort of best route to market.
Perfect. Any questions online?
Yep.
Yeah, we have a question here.
Thanks. So I'm very close to the monitor. You mentioned you could reduce the number of samples by 90% even. So can you give an example of in what use case you could reach such results?
Sure. So, for example, there's a lot of pressure on companies now to understand Scope 3 emissions in their agricultural supply chain. An important part of that is baselining and understanding soil carbon levels. So as part of that, you need to go and take soil samples to measure that soil carbon. And we've shown that we can reduce the number of samples you need by 90% by being extremely careful and smart about where you take those samples. It can have a massive impact.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. If you have no other questions, thank you, Hugh.
Thank you.
And it's again, if you can scan the QR code to connect with Hugh. As you might have noticed, I started with a bit of nervousness, but with the exciting pitches, the nervousness has gone. And I'm really excited for what's up next. Annelies?
What's up next? There's another startup pitch next. And the next company states they make meat replacements people actually want to eat. I'm very curious about that. Welcome Leah Zinneman, Chief Commercial Officer of this promising startup, Mediterranean Food Lab.
Thank you. Oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me either, but that's us.
Yeah, that's you.
So that's our CEO. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for the company. And today I'd like to talk with you about flavor. So when I say the word flavor, you probably think about strawberry, mint, chili peppers, lemon. What you probably don't think about is legumes and microorganisms, right? But this is how we at MFL are creating flavors, by fermenting plants to create flavors that are 100% natural, clean label, sustainable, and super delicious. Really, really in a nutshell, because I have only 2 minutes, how do we do it? So we start with real food ingredients, legumes, grain, and upcycled side stream of the food industry. We then use food-grade microorganisms like fungi or bacteria in a process called solid-state fermentation. So the microorganism is growing on the food, breaking it down to hundreds of small molecules, metabolites, like amino acids, peptides, sugars, fatty acids, creating a very unique metabolomic profile, fingerprint of taste, body, and aroma, all in one ingredient. The results are flavors which are rich in umami, very complex, rich in depth, that can be used either as a flavor ingredient or as a broth in a variety of dishes traditionally flavored with animal protein, like lasagna, bolognese, stews, soups, and even a burger. One last thing to mention in my 2 minutes is that our innovation started in a restaurant, and our co-founders are chefs. And as such, when we talk about flavor, we talk about deliciousness, health, and even authenticity. So we really believe that if we play it right, we can really change the culinary landscape and even drive preference from more plant-based centric nutrition, from animal-based to plant-based. That's us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I have to base it on the pictures, it looks very tasty.
Delicious.
Yeah, it looks very delicious. I'm
Robot
even getting hungry.
deliciousness.
I will start with the first question. Where do you see yourself / the company in a few years?
Selling flavors to food services and to food processors. So we're a B2B company. We're not kind of selling products to consumer. We look to partner with food processor and food services and to bring delicious stuff to the market.
And maybe they're here in the audience. Is there a question from the audience?
Hi, thanks. Is it just one flavor or?
We have a portfolio.
Okay.
So different feedstock create different flavors, and then we make blends to create different profiles based on the application.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? And I'm looking at Madelief, yeah? The thumbs up, so there's questions online.
They're wondering, is there any waste streams in the fermentation process? And if yes, how do you treat those?
The waste stream from the fermentation?
Yeah.
So we're looking at various options, whether it can be used as a functional ingredients or a feed, for example, so still kind of exploring that.
Any further questions? Naya, you know what? That gives us the opportunity. What would be your ideal question you would like to answer
What would be
to
the
this
ideal
app?
question? Yeah. When can we buy it? When can we buy product with our ingredients? So hopefully by the end of next year.
I think that's a great answer. Thank you so much for your time and being here.
Thank you.
And again, don't forget, if you want to connect, there's a QR code. That brings me already to the next company. We're going fast, I believe. We're not in a rush. And this company is from the Netherlands. It's called Solar Foil. Develops transparent foils that convert sunlight into the ideal light for plants and algae to grow. I'm welcoming you to stage Arnon, sorry.
use mine. Okay, hi, I'm Arnon. And we all know that greenhouses and horticulture need to improve their sustainability. What we're trying to do is to use sunlight to allow growers to do that. Light is really important in the greenhouse. And the current practices are either artificial light, which is very energy intensive, or shading, which blocks useful light. Microalgae is a key example of how all these costs add up, and it's very hard to make a good business case. What we've developed is a foil that converts sunlight and allows growers to become more productive. Now we're developing different materials, different light recipes that are aimed at different use cases. We're currently focusing on 2 use cases. One is microalgae production, where we want to reduce the costs, and one is for ornamental plants, where we want to help steer the growth of the flowers. Our focus is really developing these different light recipes for each application, and we then integrate these materials into existing solutions in the greenhouse, whether that's in climate screens or greenhouse foils. So we're a B2B company. Now we've already tested this specific foil in the lab on algae. It showed 45% increase in production. We're looking for a seed round at the end of next year, and up to that point, we're looking to validate our products and our technology in the market, in the greenhouse. And coming spring, this is starting. We're looking to connect also with different partners that can help us validate. So if you can help with that, that would be welcome. Thank you very much.
Within the time.
Tried my best.
Very good. Are there any questions from the audience? Julia.
Hi, thank you so much for your presentation. Very nice to listen. I was wondering, this is a very crowded space, right? There are many players that we see out there. How do you plan to stay competitive?
So I would say what we try to do is we really look at what are the problems that the customers have, what problems the growers have, and we try to solve those problems. And this is why we end up also in niches, something like microalgae, or looking at orchids and how we can improve the growth conditions for the orchid grower. I think this sets us apart from existing technologies.
Right, thank you.
No online questions? Cas.
I was just curious if you're planning to put if it's always applied on the roof or also could be integrated with screens maybe at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So we're a B2B company and we want to sell our materials to existing manufacturers of solutions. So climate screens, cover foils, even the tubes of photobioreactor tubes are made from plastic, and it can be integrated in those as well.
Thanks.
45% yield increase using the same energy input in both control and treatment?
Yeah, exact same. Just a reference and our foil under the same lighting.
And what was the control? Solar light?
Artificial solar light.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more question, not from. What are you most proud of to date?
Honestly, what we...
Yeah, honestly.
that we managed to produce this. This was a big challenge to get this far. I think at the beginning we started with centimeters, and it took a long time that we were able to get a manufacturer to produce foils of this quality, even though this can be improved, but that was a huge success.
Great. Thank you so much, Arnon. Now I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you for being here. And I think it demonstrates... Oh, we have another question. Sorry. Time is up, but...
Thanks, Arnold, for the nice presentation. I had a question in terms of recyclability of your product. How does it perform end of life?
The goal is to collect the product in the end of life, and that's also the ambition of our partners, the foil manufacturers and the climate screen manufacturers. So it fits well within that ecosystem. So it cannot end in the environment. I think that would be detrimental. That would not be our goal. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely dissolve it and remove the materials out of it.
Now, this was really the last question. The time is up. Thank you, Arnon, and thank you for this. I think it demonstrates again that you need a lot of persistence and drive in order to become successful, or at least move on to the next stage of your company. Brings me to the next company. A company, no, I need to still say again, because it's fair if everyone has the chance to connect through the QR code. So please connect with Arnon if you want to set up a meeting. And then we're going to the next company. It's a company that's collecting and upcycling human urine. The company is all the way from France, and I see him walking over here. Gerard, are you ready? François, Gerard, are you ready for the presentation? The video can start.
Thank you. I'm François Gérard. I'm responsible to deploy Toopi Organics in the Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, and the Luxembourg. Each year, we use a lot of drinking water to send a lot of urine in sewers, and is polluting the cycle of the fresh water and use a lot of water. In agriculture, we use a lot of fertilizer, chemical fertilizer. A lot of them are imported. And if we poor management, they are polluting the environment, and they are under regulatory pressure. Toopi Organics was founded in 2019 by Michael Ross, and now Toopi Organics is about 35 employees in France and in Belgium. The first idea is to use urine as a fertilizer, but we need a lot of urine, about 40,000 liters of urine for only 1 hectare. It is not a good way for the farmers to use it in this way. The innovation of Toopi Organics is to use urine as a growth medium for agronomic interest. We collect urine into a building, such as school, gas station, during events, such as festivals. We transform it without any waste. 1 liter of urine is 1 liter of product. And we produce a specific biostimulant ready to treat crops, and we just need about 25 liters of product for only 1 hectare. When a farmer replaces 20 or half of his chemical fertilizer, he keeps the same yield and he saves about 30% of his cost. Here you can see sugar beets. The roots are bigger, more able to catch more nutrients and more moisture in the soil. Same way in the fodder corn. And this year, I had the opportunity to collect urine at Mysteryland in the Netherlands. With collaboration with the sanitary company Van Overbeek, I collected 10,000 liters of urine for 10,000 liters of biostimulants, ready to treat 400 hectares of crops. This year, in September, we have closed the fundraising. We got the AIC accelerator, and now I'm currently looking for contact to have collaboration to do this specific agronomic trials in the Netherlands. So join us in this evolution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Interesting that this morning we talked about that we actually use fresh water to flush the toilets in the Netherlands, and you're using urine. So very interesting. It all comes together again. Is there a question from the audience? Is there an online question? There's questions. Okay.
You were talking about festivals. Is there any concern about drug residues?
Yes. Good question.
And that you can link that, of course, to festivals, but
yes,
there's a lot of drug residues from medicine use.
It's another business, but yes, you're right. We have the specific authorization, marketing authorization. I got this authorization in Belgium in 2021. The first question, you're right, it's about these residues of drugs. And the nature is very good because with our process, the fermentation, because here we are doing a fermentation of urine, we are able to break a lot of these residues of drugs. And we are able to use this product in biologic agriculture. And in this way, it's okay to use it at every crops.
Okay, thank you.
There was another hand that was...
A similar question, but there are some more common biological residues like caffeine and stuff which are allopathic and inhibit plant growth, and they're also very recalcitrant. They don't break down very easily. You don't see any problems with any of those?
Yes, about that, we have to do some specific research. It's not the results. It's not our results. We need another company to analyze our products, and all kind of these molecules are under the level and the regulatory level, and we are able to use it, and it's okay with that, because when we ask a specific marketing authorization during 1 year, we have to prove and we have questioned with the authority to get this kind of transfer of this question, and on this way it's good for this product.
Madelief, there is an online question.
Yeah, how scalable is your business?
Sorry?
How scalable is your business?
We have a lot of liter of urine actually. We collected a lot of urine. Now in Belgium, I treat about 800 of hectares of crops and different crops. And we are able now to address a lot of hectares of different culture or different crops, because we have collected about 500,000 liters of urine in 2023.
Thank you for your answer. An applause for Toopi Organics. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I think now we have a startup that excites you, Sam, so I'm giving it up for you.
Yes. Yes, the next startup is very exciting. I have an educational background in plant breeding, and the next startup is developing a gene editing technology in the same space. So let's welcome Kinneret Schäfer, co-founder and CEO of Genier. Please.
Hi, my name is Kinneret Schäfer and I'm Genier's CEO and co-founder. We at Genier develop a unique IP-protected technology that makes it possible for us to add a new dimension for today's gene engineering, which is control. We can control when the reactions start, stop, and extract it out of the genome without leaving unwanted trace. Moreover, we make it possible to silence genes in a tissue-specific manners, for example, in the root or leaves, without infecting the other parts of the plant. We do all the reaction at the tissue culture level, what makes our reaction cheaper, faster, and safer. By controlling the reaction, we can avoid off-target and make the reaction more accurate. Sorry. What does it mean faster? So once we have our technology in the line, and we are focusing on potatoes, so for example, Atlantic variety, once we introduce our technology into it, it's a matter of months where we can generate multiple new traits to enhance the crops without the need for crossing, without the need to go to the greenhouse at the single, and no need for a single cell complicated time-consuming assays. So gene editing can generate new important traits in crops, such as resistance to pests, nematode, viruses, but moreover, it can increase the food nutrition levels. Our business model is, when it comes to row crops such as soy and corn, we are collaborating with the big companies. We already have such a collaboration in order to allow them to introduce our technology to their specific varieties. When it comes to potatoes, we are actually working with tier 2 companies, generating for them the super line. What we sell is the super line itself, which means the technology within their variety, and get down payment for the platform and royalty for every variety that will be generated using the platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Kinneret. I have a question for you. What is your go-to-market strategy? Because I saw a few different products. I'm curious, where are you starting?
So basically, we are B2B. So we are working with the seed companies. We are as I said, with row crops, we're working with the bigger company, but we want to allow and our technology to be available also for tier 2 companies and smaller companies, so we actually give services. We introduce our technology. If they have R&D, they can generate their own trades, or we do it for them.
Okay. Do we have a question in the audience? I see we have a question online. Madeleine?
Yes, they are wondering, big companies like Bayer do the same. What do your varieties add to theirs?
I couldn't hear.
Can you repeat it?
Sorry. Big companies like Bayer do the same. What do your varieties add to theirs?
So we add a dimension that is not existed today. We add a control of the reaction. Today, when you are introducing the gene editing machinery, you have very little control over its activation. And we are adding tissue-specific applications, which make it possible to silence genes in a specific tissue and not affecting the entire plant physiology. So we are kind of have a unique tech that are protected, IP protected, that add more value to today gene editing processes.
I see we have a question here.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the presentation. My question is, what do you want to ask from us? Are you looking for investments or partnerships?
So we just finished an investment round, but for our next round we are looking for strategic investors that has also a lot of knowledge at the field of the agtech, connection to seed companies, connection to the industry, so we are interested in interacting with them. And also partners, seed companies in Europe until the gene editing will be considered to be free from consider as a GM. We are looking for to use our technology to enhance crossing, to make the crossing more accurate. So we are relevant for all industry, both in Europe and outside.
Yeah. Thank you, Kinneret. It was a great pitch.
Thank you.
Thanks. Once again, you know how to reach Kinneret through the QR code. Now, it's time for something a bit different. We have seen a few great pitches so far. We are always curious about the journeys that our alumni are going through. Therefore, we have invited our alumnus, Saia Robotics, to share and inspire us about their journey. Before we talk with them, let's watch a short video to get to know what they're doing.
My name is Ruud Bart. I'm the CEO and founder of Saia Robotics. We are developing the next generation of greenhouse robotics where we bring the plant to the robot. So normally, in the greenhouse, the robot really has to look for all the fruit and where the leaves are and where to harvest. But by getting the plant out of the greenhouse, you can really look at it from all sides, you can reach everywhere, and thereby do a very efficient harvest and de-leaving in one go, and that saves a lot of labor. So basically, in order to get the plant out of the greenhouse, you have to develop a whole new plant system. Normally plants grow 20, 30 meters in length, and those are not really movable. So what we did at Saia is develop a plant system that actually stays vertical, and that's the one that you can start to move and bring towards the robot. So what is unique about our robot is that we get individual plants in front of it, and only plants that need to be harvested. So the robot can continuously be operating, and that generates a very high throughput and a very economical solution. It's not just a robot that we're building a whole food factory, an automated greenhouse where we save 50% of the labor, we have higher yields, and also where humans do not have to go into the greenhouse anymore. And with high automation, both on robotics but also on the AI, we can really provide a solution in places where it is right now not possible to grow fresh foods. So we joined the StartLife acceleration program in 2019 because we're coming out of research, out of academia, and we really wanted to bring our technology to the market. Basically, StartLife helped us to form a business plan, calculate all the economics, and actually through StartLife realized that we didn't want to bring robots into the jungle anymore, but get the plants to the robot instead. That was a really major pivot for us. I foresee that Saia Robotics will play a large role in the fresh food production in greenhouses of the future.
Co-founder and CTO, Bart van Tol. Bart, I see you don't have a mic.
I don't have a mic, but I have a loud voice, so...
Yeah.
Do we have a hand mic?
Do we have a hand mic by chance?
Or yeah, the box.
The catch box. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I don't know who came up with it. Well, very impressive journey, Bart.
Thank you.
I would like to know, what are the next milestones for Saia?
Well, currently we are building a greenhouse very nearby. And what sets us apart from different other startups is, I don't want to downplay any other startups, but we are building a whole factory. So robotics is just one part of our technical journey. And we're integrating our robotics in our own greenhouse as a showcase for our future customers and investors. And next to that, we're looking for Series B financing for next year. We need a lot of money to build our greenhouse and to update our technology for the market.
That's great to hear the progress that you're making. Of course, you were part of StartLife Accelerate in 2019. Mm-hmm. It's been about 4 years now.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what are some of the highlights of the past 4 years.
Well, expanding our team, really. We started with the two of us, Ruud and I, and now we're 12, and the team will grow to 20 next year. And it's a wonderful team, mostly young people, and for some of them it's their first job. It's just great experience to work towards our goals and see a lot of energy and
yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm also working in the same. Saia Robotics is also here, so it's always great to work in an ecosystem that's filled with a lot of startups. One of the things that Ruud mentioned in the video was bringing the plant to the robot.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. How much labor does that save?
Yeah, well, according to our models, it's about 50%, but we'll see. We're working towards a fully automated greenhouse, but there's always manual labor involved because some of the tasks that you have to do are really delicate or even once in a while, so it's not really economically feasible to automate them all. But we aim for 50% right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's already quite a lot of savings, I would say. I have a question. If you had to do it all over again, the 4 years, what would you do differently? If does something come to mind?
Yeah, well, we started off with building a mobile robot first. Now we're bringing the plant towards the robot. And maybe we should, in hindsight, we wouldn't have built that first mobile robot. But anyway, yeah, we learned from it and it's okay. So.
Yeah. Maybe a last question. What is the advice for the startups that are now leaving the program that you can leave with them?
Okay, yeah, it's maybe a little bit personal, but don't spend 60 to 80 hours into your product. You have to keep your personal life in check as well, and your health. No, I see a lot of startups just making too much hours, and you can, when you're young, it's okay. But I'm an old guy, and I have a family, so it's important to keep your life balance in check. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Bart, and we're very proud of the journey that you're on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Annelies, we're back to the pitches.
Yes, they are great insight. I think we can learn a lot from companies that already went through the journey or are in the process, because I think everyone will make mistakes throughout this journey. So try to learn from others who already made mistakes, maybe therefore you don't fall for it, or maybe you have to just make mistakes in order to be successful. In the Netherlands, we have a sort of culture that you cannot fail, you cannot go bankrupt. But actually, in the US, for example, you need to be first went bankrupt in order to be successful. That's the way they look at it. So I think it's both sides, and we need to learn from what happened already in the past. Great insight. Thank you so much. But as Sam said, we're moving on to the pitches. We have a few more to go. Let's see if the next picture is ready. Yeah. The next, is it then correct? Yeah. The next pitch session, picture is from Germany. Are we corrected? Oh, I'm looking at you. Yeah, that's why I was sort of confused. Yeah, I know you have to come. Okay, the next picture is from Germany. This time a company that's reducing the use of pesticides for vineyard operations. Richard, the floor is yours.
Right. Thank you very much. My name is Richard. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wine Forecast. And as you already said it right, we help fruit and vegetable farmers mainly. You could also call it specialty crop farmers to ensure crop health with minimal pesticide use. And we're starting with winemakers. We have currently a huge problem in specialty crop farming because we're using up to 25 times more pesticides in order to ensure crop health compared, for example, to arable farming. And that eventually means also high cost for plant protection for the farmer and also a heavy environmental impact. And due to those reasons, the political pressure on tightening regulations for pesticide use is hitting pretty hard on those industries. And we want to help these farmers, and we built a software to predict diseases field by field without any need of hardware, and also giving recommendations on how to prevent those diseases. So if you talk about diseases, you always need to know, first of all, about the weather, because they depend heavily on that. So if you predict the weather in a very hyperlocal scale, you also can predict the disease development in a hyperlocal scale. And that's basically what we do. We developed a machine learning algorithm that is able to predict weather on a 25 by 25 meter grid, and then we derive the implications that has eventually on the diseases. Additionally, we have a second component which we use to derive the past actions of the farmer, getting the knowledge of when they use the pesticides, and then provide a tailored and automated advisory software advice to when to apply the pesticide next. With our current software, we are already able to help farmers to cut down pesticide use to up to 25% per year, and we've been used by 650 wineries at the moment, but this is just the beginning. We, first of all, want to scale our product from our current market in Germany to the European market and also start to add new crops to our model. And this is why we're currently also looking for a seed round. We want to raise 1 to 1.5 million to actually do that. And also, I'm very keen to talk to any kind of agronomist as well as companies from the chemistry background because we also provide our services to them so they can give better advice, tailored advice to their farmers on how to apply the pesticides. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to your questions.
Starting off with the first question, what is your ideal investor?
So definitely some people with agricultural background would be very good. So we not just looking for stupid capital, basically. We want to have people with a lot of knowledge in the agriculture business as well, with knowledge, and that would be probably the main knowledge that we need, scale business from one country to another, because this is one of the main challenges you probably have in agriculture. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know there was capital that's stupid, but...
yeah, there are a lot of investors that think just giving money.
We get what you mean. Are there questions from the audience or online? Yes, online. We start.
What sensing technologies do you use to acquire the data?
So basically, we don't need any kind of sensors because in those kind of industries, in specialty crop farming, you always need to prevent diseases. And if you want to prevent diseases, measuring them, it's already too late. So we just use as a main source weather forecasts. So weather forecasting data is our main source, and then our machine learning algorithm as well as topographical data helping us to bring it down to this hyperscale.
Yeah, in the back there's a question.
What is the question?
650 subscriptions
Are you generating revenues on it already?
Yeah, we have 650 subscriptions and 70 paying customers, as well as about to close one enterprise deal from a bigger chemistry company, which is undisclosed so far.
Why do you think you have the right team? You're doing this together with your brother, so sometimes it's so confusing, but why is this the team to make it happen?
I think the knowledge background is perfect, because if you want to know about diseases, you need to know about weather, and my brother is a climate physicist, so we know about weather quite well. And also I think the team dynamics is pretty good. You just know each other since years, and also we have Max as a third co-founder, as a mediator if it's getting complicated.
Now, if you want to connect to Richard or his brother, then use the QR code, and they will come back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I
have another startup, I think.
Okay.
Or it's not the
no,
case?
No, that's not the case.
That's not the case. Yeah, today has been a bit confusing, as you can see for me. All right, our next startup comes from Greece. They're innovating on how companies can validate their food products before they're developed. Let's welcome Theodoros Sofianos, co-founder and CEO of Digital Bytes.
Hello, I'm Theo. It's easier, I guess. And I'm developing, together with my team, a way to launch better products in a better way and validate them before you have to build them. But how did this all start? So I actually started here at Wageningen University and eventually worked in a consumer research job. And within R&D, actually, 90% of the products we were developing failed 6 months after they were launched. They were delisted. And okay, to be honest, I thought that maybe I'm bad at my job, or that the company is bad at what it does. But actually talking to many companies out there and hundreds of professionals, this is actually the industry standard now. 90% of products should fail regardless of the millions or billions of money that go into consumer research and product research and the months of labor. And I thought to myself that how can this happen in the first place? So on the one hand, consumers can only experience products if they are launched with current methodologies and current research methodologies around consumers. And this creates this brick wall that consumers cannot really interact or give their opinions about new products unless they're launched, which creates a lot of risk. So what we thought about doing is kind of recreating the entire shopping experience or any scenario in virtual reality in the metaverse, and then bring real consumers, immerse them in these scenarios, and measure their behavior there. In this way, we develop a very realistic methodology that is very fast to design, iterate, and simulate different scenarios. It can be accessed to anybody having a VR device at home or in a remote location, and get this smart AI analytics as a result, and implement them in real time. All this happens using 90% less time and resources. So the impact that we do is that we can bring let's say the time from idea to market up to 100x better by 2026. And a bit more about the case we've developed. So we can do product testing, idea testing with our technology. You can also optimize packaging designs, claims, anything, or even predict the performance of new products before, again, you have to build them in the retail shelf. Behind that, and this is my last slide, is a very good team with experience in VR development, analytics, and the food industry. And we are now about to raise early next year. So if anybody wants to talk about the pre-seed round, I'll be available in drinks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions for Theodoros? Otherwise, I see there is a question in the back.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I don't know, maybe you can elaborate a bit more about your customers, or your ideal customer, the one you're really aiming at?
Yeah, for sure. So what we're building can have these different applications, right? So on the one hand, we're focusing on food brands that kind of innovate a lot. They have many products that they want to test and validate before they get to the market. So it makes a lot of sense for them to be more agile. So we can definitely work with these people. Also, consumer researchers, on the other hand, we don't see current consumer research as kind of a direct competitor, but more as an accelerator for our growth as well. So we can help them do better research with our methodology. They can integrate it within their research protocols and clienteles very seamlessly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I see we have a question from the online audience.
Do you have any customers or traction already?
Yeah, even though we're a fairly new startup, so about more than a year old, we've already done a couple of pilots, and we're now in talks with a few companies to develop our paid pilot studies. And we're also looking for collaboration, so if you happen to know anyone that might be interested for what we do, or you yourself, feel free to reach out.
Who would be the best collaborators at this moment for you?
Well, probably some people that are kind of tech savvy, which is sometimes hard to find in food from experience, right? But that are kind of willing to test a new technology and kind of also reap the benefits of having this kind of disruptive innovation in their consumer research, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you, Theo, for the... We have another question.
Yeah, let's...
I can do it first.
Yes.
Last question, I hope. I think it's a very smart idea, maybe too smart, because there's a lot of money involved. So I wonder, how easy is it for companies like Coca-Cola and others to replicate your idea?
Oh, well, I could talk about maybe for hours about this, so maybe we can catch up later on the drinks. But I'd say it's hard to find the right people to talk to. I think this is also what we're learning a lot. But we've seen that within, certain brands, we have found the innovators. So there are these open innovation people or some consumer researchers that are pissed off with current technologies. And, well, we want to build up this kind of emotions and use our technology as a way to, do better job at that. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See another question. Lots of questions today.
Hi. Why did you choose the food industry?
Yeah, we get that, yeah. We get this question a lot. So I'd say it's two reasons. So on the one hand, our team has worked in the food industry before, so we know kind of how it works. The MPD development, data analytics around sensory data, for example, and stuff. Secondly, I'd say there's a lot of waste. So these 90% of products that fail, you can imagine like this big piles of products that have to be destroyed, have to go back to the facilities that were produced, or stay in the shelf after they're expired. So I'd say it's an industry with a big issue that we can help resolve right away, but what we're building can be replicated across any product or any physical product essentially, or even space, let's say. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
Thank you so much.
Then it's time for the next startup. Before introducing the startup, it's what we also do as StartLife. We, of course, set up matchmaking, basically. But now and then, we organize also deep dives. And actually, a few months ago, we organized a deep dive on this topic, which was bio-based building. It was a bit of a stretch, but luckily, we had the WUR supporting us, and we did it together with the Rabobank, our partner. And it was this one startup name that I kept hearing. And luckily, we have that company right here to pitch for us. Auke, please, the floor is yours. Respire.
The connection between nature and the built environment has been lost for decades. Biodiversity is at its lowest and decreasing ever so rapidly. While this same connection between nature and the built environment comes with many benefits. Nature acts as a passive cooling system, it filters the air, and it creates climate-resilient cities. My name is Auke, I'm CEO and co-founder of Respire. And with Respire, we chose the built environment to innovate in. Why? Because it's all around us. Make impact in this built environment, and you make impact in everybody's life. And the reason for this disconnection between nature and the built environment is because current solutions to implement nature they do not speak the same language of the project developers and the contractors, because they have only one job, which is to build payable, scalable, and efficient. So solutions that implement nature into the built environment need to be simple and cost-effective. So at Respire, we help cities integrate nature into their surroundings in a simple, cost-effective, and elegant manner. And we do this by creating solutions that do speak the language of the builders. Solutions that are so easy that the benefits massively outweigh the costs. And our first solution is called bioreceptive technology. This is a circular material that promotes spontaneous moss growth. And it's therefore perfect to create vertical landscapes. It can be used for facades, noise barriers, or the renovation of infrastructure. And at the moment, we have the team to commercialize this product and also to design many more. But because we have large ambitions, we are always on the lookout to expand our team. For internships, though, because money is a little tight. But if you want to contribute to a city that breathes, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
I give you some extra time to say, what are your ambitions then?
Yeah, so it doesn't stop at moss concrete. That's the name of the bioreceptive technology. We can expand vertically, so we can make roof tiles, dakpannen, I don't know the English word of that. But we can also expand horizontally with completely different solutions. So yeah, it's innovation in many years.
A question in the back.
Moss needs water. Do you need to apply water to the wall? Like, will this work in a dry built environment? Many of our cities.
Yeah, so moss does need water in the growing phase. So our process is prefabrication of the facade. We have a partner for that. We coat the facade with our moss enhancing coating, and then we water it for 6 to 12 weeks, depends on which species we use for the orientation. After that, you can leave it as it is. Moss is extremely resilient, also in drought, and it's perfectly capable of protecting themselves, also in solar irradiated surfaces. So after that, you can leave it.
But there needs to be rain at some point, right? So this won't work in Abu Dhabi.
So what we always do is we look at the mosses that already grow in a certain area. So in Holland we have 600 species of moss. We selected 40 of them to use in our coating. And we've also already, of course, looked to Asia, to the east part of Europe. And every country has these specific species of moss that do very well in the climate. Moss is the pioneer of life. However, Abu Dhabi wouldn't be my first go-to-market strategy. It can be really hot there, so possibly that is not for us. For this solution, we can offer them other solutions in the future, maybe. So yeah.
Madeleine, there's an online question.
What's your go-to-market strategy?
Yeah, well, we've been performing that strategy for 3 years now, so I can explain it really well. Well, it's getting the product up and running, the TRL level, up to 10 without going bankrupt in the meantime. So when we began, we did some pitches, got some money, established the MVP, and now we have 2 big projects. One 500 square meter prefabricated and one 300 square meter renovated. And I think that's the most important in the built environment, that you can show what you do. So to answer your question, what's our go-to-market strategy? Get the product there, don't go bankrupt, and then use that as a flagship. Thanks.
Thank you, great presentation. Finally, I heard it firsthand, so happy. Yeah, and we're going to move on to the next. Thank you so much, Auke.
Okay, bye.
QR code, or of course the drinks afterwards where you can connect. Then, Sam, we're almost reaching the end.
Yes.
How many more do we have?
We have about 3 startups to go now. The next one up is Som Tech. Let's welcome Tony Callahan, co-founder and CEO of Som Tech.
everyone. I'm Tony from Som Tech, and we're bringing fungal fermentation to build a sustainable food system. Our mission is to bring our unique technology to food companies to allow them to turn their side streams into high-value, healthy ingredients. So we're all here to improve the food system. And from our backgrounds in fungal biotechnology, we have been driving innovation. However, we realized something was missing. A new technology was needed. Our unique, highly scalable, solid-state fermentation technology can convert the hundreds of millions of tons of fibrous food-grade side streams using the power of fungal mycelium into high-value, bespoke, functional ingredients. Inside our fermentation system, we combine mushroom mycelium with a feedstock, and in 3 days we create an ingredient which is clean label. It has higher protein, higher fiber, and dramatically reduced sugar content. We can add targeted bioactives and flavor. The fermentation also improves the digestibility and reduces anti-nutrients. So to date, we've developed our MVP. We've built both our lab and production unit. We have 3 LOIs and 1 MOU with Quorn, a health food company, and a food distributor. In the next stage, we are raising our pre-seed round. This will be to build initial sales and to build our 1-ton pilot system. In the future, we build bigger fermentation systems, expand to new markets, and do new product development. This pipeline we're building de-risks new product development for food companies and will drive rapid innovation in the food industry. So, we're very excited that next year we're going to build our system. So if you're an investor or a food company interested to explore the potential of solid-state fermentation, reach out and get in touch. Thank you for your time.
Do you have any questions for Tony? Yeah, I see a question back.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the presentation, Tony. I was just wondering, are you using novel food strains within the product, and do you need to go through the legislative process?
We can use novel food strains. However, we're focused initially on using fungal strains which are not novel. So our actual technology platform works just as well with the novel strains, but obviously then there's an issue with the novel food regulation. So we're focused on the non-novel strains for now.
There is a question in the back.
Yeah, I have a question towards the side streams you think about, because a lot, it's very generic.
It's very generic, yeah. So we're focused on fibrous plant-based side streams. This is what solid-state fermentation is most suitable for. And these are side streams which are, I would say, least amenable to classical fermentation approaches. Examples include brewer spent grain, oil-pressed cakes, and things like this. So we're focused on food-grade side streams, and the fermentation effectively makes them more functional and more tasty.
I believe there was another question in the back. Yes.
You specifically focus on ingredients. Any plans to develop end products as well?
No, I think for now we will focus on the B2B element. We are exploring one B2C ingredient, a very interesting functional ingredient with a very low inclusion prebiotic effect. But for now we're focused on the B2B, and we'll see what happens there.
I see there's another one.
Yeah, what's so innovative about your solid-state fermentation process, Tony?
Thank you for that question. So most the competitors in solid state are using a shallow shelf-based system. Our innovation is that we go deeper on the bed. So this is basic surface area to volume ratio. We can put more product in and we can get more product out. So our innovation is around maintaining a suitable environment for the mycelial growth within this system.
Any other question from the audience, the online audience? If not, thank you, Tony, for the pitch.
Thank you, Samuel.
Yeah. And, as always, you can reach out to Tony through the QR code. Yeah.
Final two, eh?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. 2 more to go. The next startup is all the way from Delft, the Netherlands. Actually. And it's the company called Plants. They measure the status of the crop using ultrasound technology. Love to learn more about your technology. Berend de Klerk, co-founder, come to the stage and the video can start.
Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered what plants could tell us? Allow me to explain. Our global food supply faces quite some challenges, but breeding companies are to the rescue. The task of a breeding company is to create new varieties, for example, with more resilience to heat stress. However, it currently takes more than 10 years from first crossing to a commercial seed. And this is largely due to the fact that they have to manually score the performance of each variety. Moreover, they face challenges in scoring these crops objectively and frequently. And that's exactly what we have a solution for. Here you can see our initial prototype. We use our patent-protected ultrasound method to listen to the ultrasonic vibrations in crops, and we translate this into useful information, such as the water uptake, heat stress, or recovery, which we will then translate into breeding scores. We measure internal parameters accurately, non-invasively, and cost-effectively compared to, for example, To-Grow and Vivent, making this the first sensor that can be applied on a large scale. To bring our technology further to the market, we have established the following team. In the world, there are only few people who understand this technology to the core, and most are shown here on this slide. Since our start, we have successfully conducted a proof of concept. We did a pilot with our first paying customer, and we're in the process of filing our second patent. And for next year, we want to develop a plant database, increase our team with someone with extensive market knowledge, and conduct 3 paid pilots to both validate the market needs and validate our newest prototype. And for this, we have still 1 spot left. So if you know a breeding company that might be interested, please give us a call. So to conclude, by listening to plants, we can produce more food with less farming and thereby ensure a sustainable and livable planet for the next generation. Thank you very much.
I think it's very much related to the topic we discussed this morning. So thank you for that. I see already.
Thank you. So your sensor needs to be in direct contact with the plant?
Yes.
So I'm thinking about scalability. If I'm a breeder and I want to screen 1 million individuals, I need 1 million sensors. There's no remote aspect to it?
Yeah, so we're thinking more in line of thousands, but indeed ultrasound has made some developments in the automotive and medical sector, making the components very, very cheap. And that's also our aim, is to make them really scalable. But indeed, you need to measure different varieties, you need a sensor for each variety.
And what is the correlation for you between the noises the plant makes and its actual breeding values? Are they very high?
Yeah, they're quite high. So we recently did a proof of concept here at the MPAC in Wageningen, and they were very impressed with the results that came from it. Yeah. So one of the aspects was with evaporation R is 0.78, I believe. But we're still in the process of translating this further, of course. Does that answer your question?
A question from Adelie?
Yeah, I suppose you already gave it away a bit, but do you have any connections with Burr, or did you do a pilot there?
Sorry, with?
With Wageningen University.
Yeah, so we did indeed at the MPAC facility. So they were really valuable to us with both their support and their guidance. But we're also looking for more plant physiology person that can help us in more hands-on. Because we're all from Delft and we kind of miss the plant knowledge. So we're also looking for collaborations there. Yeah.
Berend, you have talked, I know, with most of our corporate partners. Mm-hmm. What did you learn most from those conversations?
That was a good question. I think the main aspect was that there was such a difference between the open field crops, greenhouse crops, and then also in between crops. I think that was most insightful. Yeah.
Okay, great answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No questions? No. I wanted to give you another opportunity, but there's no question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and reach out to them. That brings me to the last company. Last but not least, of course, Valerie. An ag-tech company focused on development of AI-based solutions for plant monitoring. All the way from Israel, Valerie.
Hi everyone, my name is Valeria. I'm the CEO and founder of Fata. And let me tell you how we use computer vision for monitoring the plants. So the motivation behind what we're doing is the fact that despite all the automation in agricultural industry, still all the monitoring of plants is being done completely manually, which is not very efficient, pretty expensive, and sometimes people tend to react late to things. And what we develop at Fata we call the eyes of ag. So our goal is to make the monitoring of plants faster, cheaper, and more efficient than it is right now. So we do that through the monitoring of plants using just standard RGB cameras. This can be either cameras in the greenhouses or cameras in the fields and the tractors and robots. So we use all the stream of photo and video data to identify monitoring parameters, which are pests and diseases, problems with nutrition, and other parameters available from this data. And we provide all this valuable information not only to the farmers, but also to the companies that might benefit from the knowledge of what does the plant need right now. So our product is an AI-based software toolkit for precise plant monitoring. You can see our app here on the slide. So basically you're able to see in real time your plants with the highlights of the issues we are detecting. And you can see also some examples of our detection capabilities that are like a broad range from tiniest pests to changes of fruits shape in strawberries here. So our business model is basically SaaS, so we charge our customers a subscription based on how many hectares we cover and what kind of features we provide to them. So our technology has API access, it's hardware agnostic, we can use whatever hardware is capable of detecting these tiniest things, and we have modular service availability for our product. Our customers are located in US, Canada, Europe, and Israel. And you can see here our happy customer. His name is Jeff. He is from Arizona. And on top of him, you might see the camera that captures his plants images twice a day to identify pests and diseases. And together with Jeff and the other customers of ours, we showed that we are able to reduce the scouting time by half, reduce the amount of chemicals that farmers apply by quarter, and by third, reduce the crop losses associated with pests and diseases. And we work not only with the farmers, but also with the leaders in the industry who can benefit from this kind of knowledge that we are creating. So our team is headquartered in Tel Aviv with several people in Europe and US as well. And we are actively looking for the customers and integration partners that might be interested in our technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I saw the A at the end. I thought I couldn't screw up this name, Valerie. But I saw the A at the end. Any questions? Jorien, do you have something to add which you heard this morning? Yeah. Because it was about AI this morning, but together with the investors and corporates.
So one of the big challenges in AI is, of course, how are we going to protect this data? So how do you guarantee that the data that you're using for your systems is well protected against retraceability towards your original customers?
Right, that's the conversation we just had with Anne, that in my opinion, the responsibility on the ethical side of these things are 100% on the entrepreneurs and businesses. So our approach is that all the data belongs to the farmers, so we're not trying to play any games here, and whatever they allow us to share with the third parties for their benefit, this is the only thing we share. And we, because of that, because we value that so much, we do a lot of things related to depersonalization of this data, making sure that everything is stored properly. This is a very important part of our work. Thank you for this question.
The final question for this afternoon. Is there an online question now? Then,
what's your biggest challenge at the moment, if any?
Well, the biggest challenge, I think, for any technology like ours is actually convincing farmers that it's worth investing in this kind of technologies. So we're trying to approach that by finding like early adopters who become really ambassadors of our technology, and we see that it actually works pretty well, and we're trying to create this kind of network effect when all the neighbors together work with our tech in a certain area.
A warm applause for Valeria. Thank you so much. I'm almost set. That brings us to the end of this demo day, the pitch sessions. Thank you, startups. What a great progress you have been going through. And also congratulations with this afternoon. I think you all had great pictures, stayed within the time, so I didn't have to act as a police. So we're very happy that we're even ending this before 5 o'clock. I want to thank Sam. I mean, it was really honored to be here on the stage with you. Love doing that together with you. We also have to thank our sick colleague at home, Jean. If you're there, Jean, if you're there, get better soon. He made all of the preparations. He's our program manager for the Accelerate program, but he's unfortunately sick. But Jean is not doing this alone, of course. We're doing this together with the entire StartLife team. So a big thanks to the colleagues as well who are all over here. Thank you so much. What else? Who else do I need to thank? The community, you. I need to thank all of you, of course. I think we had a great group of people here, many actually. We're always happy if all the seats are filled. So thank you so much. We cannot do this without you. We need the connection. Again, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and they need to get to know you. Then I want to continue with saying that we are already moving on to the next StartLife Accelerate program, the 12th edition. And if you have nothing to do during Christmas and New Year, please then apply. If you're an entrepreneur and in the online audience and you feel you want to be part of this great program and be on this stage, please apply. The deadline is the 19th of January.
Thank you, Annelies. It was a great pleasure hosting with you. I really enjoyed the jokes as well. Also great pitches, from using urine for agriculture to mosses on buildings. Yeah, it was a great experience, and we want to capture this experience together with all of you. And the idea is that we want to have a picture taken of the whole group from the balcony. I am looking for the...
Oh, it's the other side.
It's the other side. I've been thinking this side for the whole time, but now I see it.
How do we...
Well, we all need to look towards him. Should we join?
Yeah? Are we in it or should we do this?
Amazing. Thank you to the audience. We have...
Oh, yeah. The diplomas.
The diplomas, yes. Of course. For the audience, just letting you know that we have drinks and bites for you on the other side of the building. For the StartLife team and the founders, we would like you all to come up here so we can have a celebratory picture as we also hand over the diplomas to the founders. So the team, StartLife,
and the founders, please join us on stage.
Please join us.
The rest, enjoy a drink in the back.
For the online audience, thank you for joining us. Have a great evening and see you next time.
Till next time, bye.
Let's come.